Progressive speed dating. Disclaimer: this e-book has been written for information purposes only. Every effort has been made to make this e-book as complete and accurate as possible. However, there may be mistakes in typography or content. Also, this e-book provides information only up to the publishing date. Therefore, this e-book should be used as a guide, not as the ultimate source. The purpose of this e-book is to educate. The author and the publisher does not warrant that the information contained in this e-book is fully complete and shall not be responsible for any errors or omissions. The author and publisher shall have neither liability nor responsibility to any person or entity with respect to any loss or damage caused or alleged to be caused directly or indirectly by this e-book. Introductory. The popular 8-minute speed dating event provides date-hungry singles with the opportunity to meet up with a number of prospective singles in just a night. The 8-minute speed dating event can also be a fast, fun, safe and comfortable way to meet up with other people looking for the same thing: a date. In every 8-minute speed dating event, you can enter into a room full of eligible singles who would want to meet someone just like you. An enjoyable evening of conversation is always a part of the 8-minute speed dating event. There is never a dull moment when you are a more than willing participant in such an event. Every 8-minute speed dating event is set up to give the participating singles crowd with a chance to check each other out safely and in a comfortable venue among other dating singles. When you are at an 8-minute speed dating event, you are always guaranteed to find someone that will catch your eye. Each event is always great party that is not to be missed. With a room full of single people out to meet you, you would surely be having the time of your life. The 8-minute speed dating brings the art of matchmaking into a whole new different level. The event works by having willing singles register at an 8-minute speed dating event to become a participant. Registration is usually done by age groups and area where you're in. A gathering of 20 or up to 100 like-minded singles is brought together at a restaurant or bar set up for such an event. The participants are usually given time to meet and choose prospects during the mix and mingle periods. After this stage has been set, the participants are given the chance to meet up with 8 other singles of their choosing. They are given 8 minutes each to talk and know about the person they choose. After the 8-minute time limit, they go to one of the other prospects on their list. After each participant has met with their prospects for the night, they are still allowed to mingle and meet up with other people they find interesting. And to keep everything safe and the atmosphere comfortable, the participants in the event are prohibited to give out their contact information to anyone they meet at the event. This will assure that everyone will feel safe to meet up with other singles without the obligation to give out certain personal information to other singles in the event. What makes the 8-minute speed dating event click is that it allows singles to meet up live and in person. The group setting and the registration process that is required for all participants makes the event safer environment for people to meet up. The lively party setting makes the atmosphere ideal for singles to meet up. The environment is comfortable enough for the singles crowd to let their hair hang out and have fun, all the while taking their chance to meet someone that they are compatible with. The 8-minute speed dating event can even increase your chances of making a run for love and possible long-term companionship. Being a participant in an 8-minute speed dating event will make it easier for you to know someone who can bring some spark back into your life. Chapter 1: Lifelong Commitment Over the Continent. Speed dating is a modern approach of singles, including divorced, widowers, widows regardless of genre, age, and status, for even gays and lesbians merit considerations in this 21st century practice of meeting acquaintance, or would-be future partners in life. Although, it objects likewise with that of the traditional type of mate matching done so by ancient wealthy and royals of antiquity, beside that it has been practiced also in the Orient by the Chinese as a part of their tradition, the present approach is very more liberal, for the people concerned in here have the opportunity to outstand to their choices and interests. Speed dating of today matches and gives opportunity to interchange types, status, age and genre to such extent that it renders matchmaking of the olden days totally obsolete in make and perspective. Speed dating became popular in the United States after the introduction of the Jewish Rabbi Yaakov Deo of Aish HaTorah, who, in his observations, the Jewish singles were outnumbered by the non-Jewish and that they should meet each other in groups, in cities where single Jewish are fewer. The practice has evolved general acceptance and went across other borders and continents and became a recent global practice. Various places of interactions to promote the meeting of interested groups or individuals are open in clubs, restaurants, and other places of social venues where it is openly organized. It also became popular in the internet where there is a lot of traffic visitor of the entire global network. Speed dating has reached the continent of Canada. It is widely practiced in Montreal, Vancouver, Toronto, Montreal, Calgary, Edmonton, Ottawa, and Winnipeg. Upmarket bars sponsor the meeting exclusively of singles. They specialized more on unmarried males, females, ages 20 to 35 years old who are more adaptive of their personal choices and interests. A single individual could meet a group and decide his/her choice later, when it is more convenient and less awkward not to be so blunt in right at the moment preference of one from the other. Speed dating tends to be fast, safe and full of fun when a group of singles from 8 to 12 in numbers meet in upmarket bars. The practice extends in such popular places specified above. Don't mistake it, speed dating is totally different from romanticizing. It has nothing to do with treating the event as a prospect for any sex relationship, although it could be a fun time for flirtations for both male and female who chance at meeting a number of people in 20s. There's time for enjoyment with total strangers having different levels of interests and respective characters and choices. Group encounters entails a 3-minute chance to evaluate the person of your preference and choice as to settle on whether you'd ever wish to pinpoint the person of your elect to forego within lengthier relationship that would front a lead for a lifelong commitment. There are adverse angle as regards to speed dating around this side of the continent. Addressed exclusively to ladies in two categories, namely, the lady singles who speed date for the first time, and the sex-oriented, experienced young females such as divorced, widows, and plain play girls. The male may have a lot of expectations on them, either the positive sex expectations towards results of their encounters on either these types of ladies. The other type male date is that without expectations towards outright sex relationship. These are the most wholesome speed dates where a good choice is on hand. Chapter 2: Fun Full Progressive Party Dates. Speed dating in Columbus, Ohio depicts endless commitment to seek the true side of man's sensuality, and the need to captivate it through endless effort in search of partners to be from among the many open clubs, bars, restaurants, and other party organizers within the Ohio metro areas. Speed dating is open to all singles, unmarried parents with children, gays and lesbians, male and female of all ages for as long as there are counterparts that would match them up in parties designed for particular meeting of groups or individuals to meet rows or more in one single night of fun-filled parties. A 2 to 3 hour rendezvous in specified place set as a progressive party for people who wish to capture the moment of fun, ease, convenience, pressure-free, and liberal-minded approach to couples know each other dates. Every minute holds a vital factor in deciding the best choice of a mate. This way, to re-establish a second date for the sake of getting to know more of each other in preparation for a final plunge on quick engagements for marriage are prime purpose and never turned at stake. In Columbus, Ohio, parties of this kind take a different manner when it concerns to seeing and conversing with the prospective partner. Afar from other states, it limits to 3-minute time for meeting and talking, just enough to look into each couple's eyes viewing considerations of acceptance to any further progress in relationships. That's how progressive parties are formed about a pattern perspective for advanced relationship, if there'd be any. Why speed dating in Columbus, Ohio? 1 has already met someone, but seeks to know him/her better. 2. A serious and deeper feeling of love and affection has been developed that objects minutes of happy bonding. 3. You wish to go somewhere, but would rather go with somebody other than the usual sex friend, to relax, not in a way unfaithful, shifting a sense of monotony, or for a momentary change of interests and atmosphere without any detrimental effect against somebody else's concern. progressive parties running popular in northern Ohio. Signing in a progressive date, you are obliged to present as valid identification, a driver's license, and interacting will start from each across respective tables. The daters take around 3-minute talk, just enough to understand each other, or evaluate whether one encounter deserves chance for further dates. Men turn over to the left and the ladies remain in their original places. One date takes to another in a row up until 15, the ladies allowed to meet some 2 to 3 male counterparts with total of 30 daters, after which if the 15th is reached, a break of 15 minutes will follow. Drinks are allowed while consuming the time, and after, to continue in getting through with the remaining 15 daters. To keep a balance in the number of men and women who dates, the Progressive Party allows standbys of 2 to 3. If they will not be able to have a chance to participate and perform during the night, payments are not charged. The event will end by getting the lists of accomplished questionnaires on who agreed together for another speed date. An email message will reach them within 48 hours, and they will be provided with telephone or email address, so they could arrange on further dates, this time, to know each other more for deeper commitments. Chapter 3, Dating for English Singles: The Brand New Way. UK has one of the most exciting speed dating events ever held. Speed dating has become somewhat of a building trend among people who belong in the singles scene. With UK being more open to such novel ideas, speed dating didn't take long before it captured the imagination and was embraced by the date-hungry English singles. Speed dating is a means of helping single guys and girls meet up with each other through a planned event. Speed dating hosts usually set up a party in one of the hippest or coolest bar locations for singles in the area. This speed dating party allows participating singles to gather together and take part in one of the most exciting and novel matchmaking methods ever to hit the country ever since online dating was introduced. Through a speed dating party, singles who usually take part are given their own identification numbers to help them be identified by other participating singles in the event. They are also given a piece of paper where they will be able to size up and assess other speed daters whom they will be meeting at the event. The main area of the speed dating venue is usually set up as a succession of tables for 2 people. This is where the mini dates are set. In such tables, 2 speed daters try to get to know each other better. But such meetings are set with time limits. At the end of one mini date, a speed dater gets up and moves on to another table to get to meet another speed dater, and so on and so forth. This novel dating method allows speed daters to get to know as many compatible singles as possible without the inconvenience of making the other party on the table pleased. The benefit of speed dating is that it allows single people to have as many dating options as possible after each event. What makes speed dating work is that the participants try to assess each speed dater they talk to and judge whether they are compatible with a certain speed dating participant. This assessment they can achieve by meeting a number of other speed daters. This gives them the opportunity to find compatible matches without having to concentrate on just one prospect. Speed dating also allows participants to put the getting to know you phase of a date up a notch. Although it may not be considered as a normal date for some, speed dating allows people to have the chance of getting to know other singles before they ever commit to go on an actual date. This has proven to be a better method than going on blind dates, which can sometimes end in disaster. Speed dating can also help people get in touch with other dating singles in their area. Whether the participants find a date on such parties or not, it is always sure that they will be able to meet other singles whom they can hang out with. Speed dating events in the UK are steadily getting their own place in the consciousness of the singles in public. Speed daters are somewhat keen on the idea that they have the chance to meet up with quite a number of prospect dates and with a good chance to hook up with someone that they are compatible with. In their eyes, speed dating is seen as a good opportunity to meet, talk, know, and, in the process, find that one date that they have been looking for so long. Chapter 4, Considering Culture and Christian Values in Speed Dating. Speed dating has far reached the ends of developed countries and strategic cities where migrants in flow abounds in all corners of the world's metropolis in search for greener pastures. It is not surprising that the fusion of cultures raised at times differences when it comes to interactions, especially in exchanging of marriage vows of various citizens with differences on spiritual approach in relation to religious adaptations and practices. The Christians whose foundation of the family is based in the belief that it should be centered upon their Savior Jesus Christ are cautious not to misguide their youth, male and female singles. That'll lead them down to the pits of fire, hell counterpart to the mythological Hades. The global success of speed dating that is sweeping at present throughout the US, UK, Australia, the Netherlands, New Zealand, and other famous cities has gained through a lot of changes in a way, modern, to give each single person the opportunity to select a mate of his choice. It does not only refer to the consequences of meeting Mr. or Mrs. Right, but in the sense of adjusting to each other's values in terms of what her religion teaches. Christian speed dating looks just like any other normal speed dating, wherein the event is fun, no pressures, no pains, no fears, with no more than light expectations not to give up until you find the right person you'd push through for another date. How it works for the Christian singles, young or elderly. 1. When you arrive at the venue, you'll be told to fill up data forms, that includes your contact details. 2. Seats are provided, one side for the females, and the other for the male daters. 3. Daters, guys, move at random, and have 3 minutes to see each, and move on to the others. By the time you reach the last speed dater, you'll know by then the number that stands out as your preference. 4. This finalizes the forms with emphasis of choices, accomplished and submitted to the venue committee. 5. Confirm selection in the forms proceed to giving of contact to each matched pair in preparations for further speed dating schedules for them to pursue subsequent dates for personal interests. The Christians' ways to seek dates other than speed dating take blind dates, pen pals, solicited relationships, and marriages for convenience. Also, work out for chance prospecting and relationships with strangers, not necessarily belonging to the same religion. It's more of a one-on-one case, at times successful, provided there is a focus on the similarities of values in upbringing. Possibilities happen not only in one country, but transcontinental. The sad thing, in some of these cases, due to selfish motives of some negative minds, tragedies happen in the course of time during the couple's life if eventually, they pass through to marriage stage. It doesn't happen in telltales, but are real happenings that passed on global news updates. For selfish ends, the woman, usually as a generally discriminated individual of the human genre, is a victim commodity on insurance policy ends of the male, causing him to put a tragic action against this innocent counterpart. Bottom line, the best down-to-earth prospecting for a mate is to enter into some of the most wholesome venues around in speed dating. It is by far the most convenient and safe, for you'll be ushered to select from many, then you'd run down to one chosen partner based on clean atmosphere and motives. Chapter 5: Fun and exciting non-exclusive dates. Speed dating in the United States has spread wide in entirety all over the numerous states, and venues with dating ambience sell like a consumer's piece of commodity in a large department store or in a supermarket. Maryland caters to such speed dating for the busy middle-aged or younger professionals alike, the elderly senior citizens, and those youth in the universities, naming particularly e.g., the University of Maryland. Speed dating has opened a most favorable setting for fun seekers, lonely individuals, and especially those busy people who find it hard to deviate socializations with people other than their daily colleagues that bind bridges in between familiarity and monotony, or, due to long-term acquaintances, posing for acknowledged brotherly, sisterly mode relationships. However, in most cases, those who patronize the practice of the modern-day speed dating are really those seekers for future partners in life. Subjectively, a respective view of each speed dater could be considered depending on their motives or reasons behind why they enlist in such planned groups or one-in-one dating. Various reasons lie behind each individual, and causes always go to the basic instinct in humans, gregariousness, in relation to his environment. The need to socialize, and the core, is to get an intimate dealing with another of his kind, a friend, a life partner, or whoever may suit his need. Classifying the individual need in speed dating from several group categories. 1. The teenagers in the universities and other young singles, these group go for speed dating, which for them, it opened new experiences, new level approach as part of growth and development. Some visions at experimentations that go with excitement when experiencing new type of social approach or atmosphere other than in their homes and with childhood friends. 2. The corporate professionals, middle-aged and other busy young single employees, they are self-sufficient in their own rights, have consumed so much hours enclosed in the confines of corporate offices, and are accomplished contributors to the growth of their respective companies. They have forgotten they are also humans, only to find out later they had outgrown with age in prioritizing their career interests rather than on their personal lives. Also, those other employees who no longer have the opportunity to go socializing for reason that they might miss their first encounters with their chosen career opportunities. Professionals who outgrown in age because of the responsibilities they fear to neglect for it might devaluate any high-rank post of aspirations in the corporate environment. All these are reasons why in the long run, they seek speed dating as the quickest way coping with lost times and capitalizing the greater chance of finding partners amidst busiest atmosphere in their lives. 3. The senior citizens, they may be widowers, widows, divorced, and aged singles in youth let time passed over, let alone to themselves because of this or that reasons. Speed dating offers a lot of chances for them to make over for past and lost experiences. The widower, widow or divorced find it fulfilling to prospect at having another life in order to move on. And the aged single will find it exiting to experience this in his old age and later realized how silly it was to have lost such portion in life. Generally, one has to figure out what about having speed dating popularly favored in the 21st century society. For those aforementioned people in their respective categories and ages, speed dating practice sounds relevant and offers par degree advantage. Chapter 6, Speed Dating Questions. Accounting in USA has seen lots of change. There was a time when the accounting was more of bookkeeping done in huge ledgers and was the purview of select few. It is hard to meet someone nowadays. Despite having bars and clubs all over the metropolis, it is hard to find someone who is looking for something really serious. And with today's people all focus on their careers, most have no time to go around and meet new people. One of the ways to meet new people fast and easy is through speed dating, which is rapidly gaining popularity since its beginnings in 1998 in Beverly Hills. The concept of speed dating was actually thought of by a rabbi who devised the system to help his community of believers to get to know each other and bond despite being in a large city, where the Jewish population is next to nil. The concept clicked and become so successful that it has been incorporated into the dating scene. Speed dating is actually quite simple. Men and women who are interested in finding potential partners or even activity partners will have to register with a speed dating organizer. Often, people who join the events are those who are seriously interested in forming lasting relationships with other people. Because of this, one can be sure that people in the group have good intentions. This is important especially when dealing with people who do not have the time to play games like the rest of the pack that are lounging in bars. Participants in the speed dating event will then be given the opportunity to talk to each of the participants from the opposite sex. There will be a series of mini dates that will last anywhere from 3 minutes to 8 minutes depending on the organizers of the speed dating event. They can ask any question or talk about any topic that they want. Often, even in these few minutes, they will be able to know if their personalities will progressive speed dating page 17 click or not. No one is allowed to give any contact numbers and other personal information until after each of the mini dates. After the event, they will then submit a list of names who they want to get to know more and have contact even after the event. If the person one has chosen also chose them, a match is made and these people will then be given the opportunity to maintain contact through an exchange in phone numbers. One way to break the ice among strangers is of course to ask questions that are relevant and pertinent. Often, the questions that you will be asking during speed dating will also help you determine if there is a chance for a match or not. This is how crucial questions in speed dating are. Below are some do's and don'ts in formulating questions during mini-speed dating dates. 1. Ask questions that they can answer and not just nod to. This means that you should be asking questions that will not allow them to answer you with either a yes or a no. Use open-ended questions. This is one way to determine if they are good conversationalists. 2. Don't ask serious questions that are just too deep or too personal to answer. Save those questions when you really got to know the person or when you are out on a date after the event. 3. Ask for their interests. It may seem too cliché, but at least you will be able to find out if your interests will click or if you have similar ones. Chapter 7. When you need the service of speed. In this hectic, busy lifestyle that runs the modern world, what's a modern single individual to do to find romance and love? Dating is the usual answer to this dilemma. However, traditional dating costs a lot of effort and time. You will need to invest a lot of yourself just to prospect dates in the first place. This investment in time and resources may not necessarily be the most efficient way to spice up your life with romance and love. First of all, you really may not have the time to waste. You have your career, health, and other activities that you already need to juggle. Try as you might, finding time for a traditional dating game may be close to impossible. Even if you do find the time, your date prospecting may end up so badly that you will be wary of trying it out another time. For instance, the problem with the usual places that people go to find dates is that it is usual. This means, you will always see the same people and none of them may have the qualities and characteristics you are looking for. Before you get hopeless and depressed, consider this: speed dating. There are now a lot of organizations that offer speed dating service for individuals who simply don't want to have to waste too much time trying to find the right venue and enough singles to choose from. The internet gives us instant information, our microwaves cook our food instantly, and mobile phones keep us in touch with others in real time. Why do we have to go through countless of hours and nights of single dates that may not end in the way we want it to? There must be a way to speed up the process of prospecting, dating and going into a relationship without having to waste precious time. The answer to this really is speed dating. Finding the right speed dating service to suit your needs and requirements may be the key to adding romance and love into your life. The first step to take in this endeavor is to find a speed dating service that offers these events in your area. This way, you can meet other singles in your area that you may otherwise not bump into. This increases the chances of you meeting that special someone. Next, find a speed dating service that offers special targeted events. For instance, you can avail of a speed dating service for gays, older women or men, doctors, lawyers, and other special considerations you may have. This way, you're sure that the speed dating service takes the guesswork out of your hands. In a traditional dating hotspot, you may have trouble finding other singles with the particular demographic you want. Furthermore, you can never be sure if the person you are considering for a date is even single. The speed dating service provider ensures that all participants are single, so you can rest assured in this. Speed dating continues to gain popularity, and this means that more and more singles will be using this service. Say goodbye to traditional dating and join a speed dating service that will help you speed up the process of finding someone interesting enough to go out with and perhaps settle down with. Chapter 8: Speed Dating, a new fad to watch. With people too busy to go around the social scenes and meet new people, more and more innovative ideas on dating are being conceptualized. One of the newest ways to meet new people and possibly meet a new love is through speed dating. Although the concept is actually not so new anymore in Western countries, having been practiced for years now, it is enjoying popularity just now. Perhaps, this is because the idea of speed dating is more viable and much more needed now than before. Speed dating, to those who are still clueless about the system, is a matchmaking process wherein people will meet and have a chance to talk for a short period of time. Often, people who join speed dating events are those who are also on the lookout for potential partners and relationships. This way, all people in the event know that everybody is serious about the dating process. History speaking, speed dating has its origins in the idea of Rabbi Yaakov Deo of Aish Hadara. He devised this way of dating for Jewish singles to meet each other and bond when in large cities such as New York where non-Jews outnumber them. In fact, speed dating as a single word is a trademark that Aish has been using for his projects. The two-word speed dating phrase is a term used for other events with similar slant. The first ever speed dating event happened in Beverly Hills in the late 1998. Because of good reviews, it became a commercial success and rapidly spread all throughout the United States. By the turn of the millennium, speed dating has become a byword in social circles, especially after being portrayed in glamour shows like Sex and the City. The process of speed dating start off with men and women on each side of the room. Each of these people will be given the chance to talk to every member of the opposite sex in a series of short-minute dates where they can talk about anything they want. Often, the short dates will last from about 3 minutes to 8 minutes depending on the organizer of the speed dating. These minutes are neither short nor long for people. Remember that you have to also take into consideration the discomfort that people who barely know each other will feel when forced to talk to each other. During the small talks, no one is allowed to give any numbers or other information apart from the names and other things that are not so personal. After everyone has talked to everybody, the organizers will then ask the participants to submit to the organizers the list of people that they really like and would like to get to know more. These people are the ones they consent to give their number to. If the person one wants to get to know also wants to get to know them, a match is made. Numbers will then be given to each one and it is up to them to set up their own dates so that they can get to know each other. Speed dating, however, is not done for free, and to ensure that everybody in the event is legitimate, pre-registration is encouraged. However, there are event organizers who allow walk-ins to join the party. When you go to these events, make sure that the organizers are already established.